Hello everybody, it's been quite some time, hasn't it? I hope everybody had a wonderful Christmas time. It's been weeks since I've actually put a video up, and I have been making things, but they're just, there's a couple of videos I can't go live at the moment, and a lot of it's been stitching, and this is my completed 52 tags handmade tag book that I made. I have got a video on how I made it, but I finished it off. So this is the cover, and it's like a collage of different fabric pieces, and then I've done a running stitch or borrow stitch over the top of everything. I've put a piece of doily on this side here. I've blanket stitched it down, and I've put French knots around the edge there. I have this beautiful, it's a bunch of grapes, and it's an antique lace piece. It's just lovely. I've put that there with a bit of tatting, a little bit of a edge of a doily there with some ribbon, and then just a bit of fabric. The fabric I used on the pages, it was an old sheet, so that's the edging of the sheeting. And then I've just attached the buttons to my little tabs that hold the spine together here. So I have some lovely tabs there, so I'll just run down that so you can see. And I'm really pleased with how it turned out. I love the colours. They're such happy colours. And I love the thickness of it. It's so, what's that word, tactile, is that what they say? And there's room for more in there. There's plenty of room for more in there. So it was kind of deceiving how big it would be. But I didn't want something, really wide. And I just sit this on top of my cabinet, and then I sit a fabric bag on top of it, and it just takes up no space whatsoever. I know it's there, so if I want to look through it, I can. And I've just attached a couple of pieces of fabric that I just stitched around the edge so they didn't fray away to nothing. And I did that on the sewing machine. And before I attached the collage piece, I stitched that in just like that, just like I've got it on the back there. You'll see a straight stitch and a zigzag stitch on the back there. So let's have a look at our last 5 tags. And I'll show you how it looks. So it's like this. They do move around a little bit, but that's okay because, they're tags. They're swing tags. They're meant to swing, aren't they? But they're so easy. Like if I go like that and they move, it's not a problem. They tend to move inwards rather than outwards, so I'm quite happy with that. I do have a little pocket here that I've made, and that's going to be so I can just put a little summary of what this actual challenge was all about and who hosted it, just so that I know for reference. So yes, I've got all the ribbons, and they just hold everything in place. It's so convenient. I love it. And like I said, I could quite easily take part in another challenge that had a small thing and place it over 52 weeks, or I suppose I could over 52 weeks and do it. But you can see they move a little bit, but it's not a problem. Not a problem at all. I think with one of them, this one here, I slid a little plastic bag over that one because it's full of beads, and I didn't want the beads to catch on anything and break. So I've just, I can slide that off quite easily, but I did just slip a plastic bag over the top of that one, and that was week 27. So let's get to our current week, and they all fit nicely on the back page here, although I don't fit in camera very well. So the first one is week 48, and that is the sheath stitch. And I kept it simple, little butterflies and a dragonfly, and that was the week James finished school for the year. The reason I kept it so simple was because the previous week I'd done this mammoth effort in getting, I think, 10 tags completed or something like that, and so I just wanted it to be simple. So I've just used a piece of linen, or I think it's doubled actually, yes, it's doubled. There's a little dragonfly there, and a couple of butterflies. So I'll bring that up close for you to see. So nothing elaborate on that one. The next week, which is week 49, was a memory. And this one, I found it quite hard to do because a lot of you may know I lost my dad last year, and so it's still very, very raw. And this was one of his ties from years ago, back in the 80s and 90s. He used to dress up a lot in suits and things, and he always wore ties. So he had a good collection, and I was fortunate enough to get those ties from my mum. So I just snipped the end off one of his ties and used it there. I did a little bit of cross stitch, a little bit of blanket stitch, some French knots, and then I think that might be satin stitch, and I just went over the edge so it didn't fray away. I do like the way it turned out. What did I write? A memory. My dad always liked to look good, and he always did. He wore a lot of ties in the 80s, and this was one of those. This was one of them. I love you, Daddy, and I do miss him, but I know he's okay. The next week, week 50, was circles and stitch. Okay, we did Christmas shopping this week. So I have just done the 3 circles. I've done blanket stitch, back stitch, and then just some long stitches on there, and I layered them up to look like a bauble. And then I've done a chain stitch to bring it up to here, and I tied a bow and put an old button on the front of it. So that was that one. And then week 51 was a wreath. This week we visited family and had dinner and games nights. It was a lot of fun. So that was the week before Christmas, or a couple of weeks before Christmas. So this is the wreath, and I decided to go for a half wreath because I really wanted to do some long dangly bits, and this is just a stem stitch, I think. It's a couple of weeks ago now. So much going on at this time of year, it's hard to remember. Then I just did a little, I can't even remember what the name of those little stitches is, and then a little sequined and bead on the front of it there. Fly stitch. Just all the stitches Anne was talking about, little pistol stitches, lots of French knots. I've used some gold thread. I've made a little flower out of ribbon in the center there. This is silver lame thread going down here. I've got some beads in amongst those things as well, and I really like that. And this is an old pillowcase, and I love this fabric. So I'll bring that up close as well so you can see it. And that one, and that one there. And then the last one is, of course, week 52, and that was macrame. I don't like macrame. I tried it when I was a teenager, and I didn't like it then, and I don't like it now. I don't like the look of it, but I thought, you know, let's just do what the prompt was and do macrame. And I did it in this thread, and I did find, because it's quite fiddly, but I thought with the use of a crochet hook to pull, you know, to maneuver. I started with a crochet hook, sorry, and then I ended up with this, just to hold the loop down so the other two would pop up on this side and pull it through. And you probably don't know what I'm talking about, but if you've done this tag, you will know what I'm talking about. It's just a bit fiddly, but that did help a lot. So that's my macrame, and on the back I've got Christmas 2021. Quite the year, but here we are, roll on 2022. So that is my 52 tags, and as you can see, there's plenty of room to put other things in here if I want. It's hard to flick through this. Maybe we'll start at the front, because I'm not going to take them all out and show them all individually. So I'll just go like this and show you all the tags that way. And I'm glad I completed it, and I even went back, and I'll show you in a minute, to finish one tag. I love this tag. There are some favourites I have in here, and that's one of them. And I do like that one too. I can't remember what was over here. Oh, and that one's really pretty. I like that one. Yeah. And this one's pretty. So I have obvious favourites, as I'm sure we all do. See that? Yeah. Okay. And starting up there. If I go like that, I can show you both sides at once. And this one has two, like that. Like that. Now this is week 14, and that was supposed to be a pocket and a treasure from a favourite place. And that was around Easter time. I hadn't done that at all because I couldn't think what to put in, and so I just didn't. But I've done the pocket. See, if I did this the other day, and I've just made a little pocket in there, so maybe one day I will find that treasure that is eluding me at the moment, and I'll put it in there. But I did do the tag because I didn't want to leave it unfinished in any way. So, and that was just made out of linen, the edge of a linen bag, and I've just done lots of running stitches, a couple of cross stitches on it as well. So, starting at the top. Is it there? Oh, there we go. That's the thank you one. There. I like that one too. I love the colours in it. That one's a messy one. And it tends to get little bits that are fraying a little bit, but it's done. That was a bit disappointing, that one, because the pencil wouldn't rub out on that one. So, but it is what it is. That one's quite nice. I like that. Then my threads. And this is the brooch and the bling. It's so blingy. Start at the top. Love the colours in this. I'm such a blue person. This kind of blue. Just love that, and that kind of embroidery on glaze. Just love that. This one gets bright. I love this one. Oh, it's just got a watercolour effect to it. I just love that one. So let's start at the top here. Like that. That one's really pretty. I don't like that one. Just saying. I like that one. I think that's nice and delicate. And then we're on to our last page. I'll just show you those again. Whoops. Sorry, I got my window open. And that's Max. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed seeing that. I hope you like my finished book. Like I said, it's lovely. It feels wonderful. Very easy to make. Just tie that on the side. And I've done it in a way that they just, you know, they go like that, so they kind of enfold themselves inside, but it looks quite nice on the shelf, and I'm very happy, and it feels so good. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed seeing that. I loved the challenge. Thank you, Anne, if you're watching this. It was a fun challenge. I won't be doing the flags. I'm going to be doing Rachel and Sarah and their mum's challenge this year, the Roxy's Journal of Stitchery, and I'm so excited to be doing that. That is only 6 months, though. Which I think is fine, because although I love doing this, I did find 52, you know, you kind of, well, it was fun. It was a lot of fun, and I'm glad I completed it, you know, but towards the end there, you know, I had to catch up. So there we go. So take care, everybody, and I'll be back with another video showing you what I've done for the Roxy's Journal of Stitchery. So bye. And I'll put a link to Anne's channel in the description box below, because you can take part in this challenge this coming year. If you weren't able to do it this year, you might be able to do it next year. I mean, she said it's going to stay up there forever, so you can do it again. So there you go. You might be able to do it backwards, perhaps. Okay, take care, everybody. Bye.